What's the craziest thing you've experienced with Zeppelin?
I do remember an after show experience that was amazing. They played in Memphis, where I happened to live at the time and work. I was there backstage before the show, but there was a lot of press stuff going on and pictures and things being done. And then they played the show. During the show itself, the crowd went absolutely berserk. Weren't sitting and watching. They weren't just standing and watching. The almost entire crowd had stood up on the seats, and they were just pounding their feet, standing on the chairs. And this was during A Whole Lot of Love near the end of the show, and it was just insanity. Well, the manager of the Coliseum where they were playing, the Mid South Coliseum, a man named, believe it or not, Bubba Bland, was the manager, and he was furious. You were tearing up my place, you stupid hippie kids in the audience. So he literally, and I hate that word literally, I hear it all the time when people don't mean literally, but in this case, in actuality, the manager pulled a gun on Peter Grant and pointed it at him and said, "I want you to stop this show or there's going to be real trouble." And it was just, what?
That's
So
crazy.
Peter got Robert's attention. So you've got to calm down, calm everything down. This is getting out of hand. There's actually a gun back here, and it's not good. Now, just 3 days before, their limousine had been shot between Dallas and Fort Worth, and a bullet had gone through the limousine. So Robert, everybody calm down, bring the music down soft, bring it down low, whatever. And they really, whispering A Whole Lot of Love. And everybody calmed down. They turned the lights on in the Coliseum. He said, "I want everyone to sit down. We've got to finish this show. We're having trouble back here with the people of the facility, so let's please calm it down."
Wow.
And everybody sat down and all, and then they came back full, and everybody's right back up screaming. It was just so exciting, unbelievably good.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the thing, I was backstage in the dressing room with only Peter Grant, the four band members, and me in this dressing room backstage. And I just said, "Guys, I've got to apologize for the city of Memphis, for the state of Tennessee, for the Coliseum. This wasn't what most people would do. This one man was just over the top. Please accept my apology for everything." They said, "We're never playing here again." And we're just furious. So I just couldn't believe it. So that was sort of a special backstage experience. Then after that, Jimmy, the rest of the band left, and Jimmy, I had this gigantic Mercedes 300 limousine I had bought that somebody had, and I just couldn't help but buy it. It was it was think it had been a United Nations car at one time. It had a back seat that was as big as you could live in it. It was huge. So Jimmy had let me get a pass to pull that inside the Coliseum at the backstage area.
Yeah.
So we went out, and I got in the car. Jimmy got in the car, and his girlfriend Charlotte got in the car, and my wife at the time. And I drove him to my apartment where I had an Indian dinner all set up. We had a late night dinner. I knew he loved Indian food, and you couldn't get it out and tour in the U.S. So I'd had an Indian people I knew make a beautiful dinner, everything. But fans saw the car leaving, and they just, that's Jimmy Page in there. And they were following us down streets, and I was driving as fast as I could.
Oh, man.
Swerving around. It's like a movie chase, trying to get away. And finally we got to my apartment, and we ran inside and locked the door. And what a night. Anyway.
That is amazing. So I gotta ask you though, the guy with the gun, what ended up happening with him when the crowd re-erupted?
He was unhappy. He basically, I mean, I don't know. At that point, I was running for backstage. I didn't see the further things that happened. I didn't want anywhere near any of that. But a shot was not fired. I know that.
That's good.
And the show ended, and it was very, very bad scene, though.
Jeez. It's funny because I would imagine that Peter Grant would typically be the one kind of pushing somebody around, so to speak, instead of getting pushed around.
Not with a gun in someone's hand.
Oh, man.
He was too smart for that.
That's hilarious.